vlogging here from Denmark, sitting in my backyard, you could say. Just normally I would be knitting here in the start of the video, but I've actually been doing the opposite for a while. Well, I also knit because if I only unraveled, then at some point, you know, it would be nothing left. So, but I am unraveling this, or I had somebody call it something else. Well, frogging it, you could say. This doesn't say the correct word, but sound, but yeah. And as you can see, I've just started unraveling this, and actually I would like you to show this skirt. It's a skirt on me, so I'll just put in a video right here. As you can see in the video, this particular model of skirt, I don't think it doesn't really suit my body or my body type. It's windy right now, and it's actually quite late. It's almost 8 o'clock in the evening here in Denmark, but it's the summertime, so it won't get dark for another 2 hours, maybe an hour, something like that. And darkness comes really slow here in Denmark in the summertime, quite quickly in the wintertime, which makes it a bit hard to be a podcaster because I don't really have like a professional studio, and yeah. But as you can see, sometimes I do like this, and that's because I am loosening the stitches, or here where I bound off, I think, yes. So, but this is a full circle skirt, and it doesn't. I am 1 meter 65 centimeters tall, or short, you could say, and a skirt like this, with this much fabric, it just makes me look a bit bigger than I am, and I think it makes me look, what you say, shorter, actually. And it's, well, it's a bit unpractical because where I live, when I leave the house to go to work or go shopping or groceries or something like that, I need to take the car because we live 3 kilometers outside the small village that we live nearby. And if you have a skirt this size, full circle, it's a lot of fabric, so you have to like pull it in the car door, so that you can you don't get your skirt caught in the car door. So it is a bit unpractical. I haven't actually unraveled the bind off yet, which is why I'm doing this, so that the reason that I am unraveling this is because I think I've used this skirt 2-3 times. So I want to repurpose the yarn for, I'm starting with the skirt. Normally I would, you know, make the top first if I'm doing these 2 pieces, which is the thing that I'm doing right now. If you go back in my videos, I think maybe even, I think 2 videos back, the video is called my first 2-piece. That's a lot of what I'm doing right now. I've been doing skirts for a couple of years, right now I am doing like skirts and tops, because yeah, and also because I've been losing weight for around a year now, and I am still trying to lose more weight. So by making these skirts with I do like an I-cord, and that's the way that I tighten it in the waistline, you know, with an I-cord in I have no idea what it's called in English, but I knit like 2-3 centimeters, then I purl one round, so, and then I knit 2-3 centimeters, the same amount of rounds as before the purl row. Then I knit that, and then I, you know, I also have to do I do like 2 buttonholes so that the string or the I-cord can go into this double that I'm making in the waistline, so I can bind or tighten the skirt. I'm not that good. I showed it in 2 videos ago. I had done the same thing, and I showed and explained what I was doing. And I have actually made another skirt, which I haven't showed it on Instagram yet because I haven't had the time, I think. Well, when I finished that skirt, the second one, this is ridiculously long. It was actually quite hot because I finished it in the middle of our summer vacation and summer holiday, and it was actually too warm to wear it. So I tried it on when it was done. I haven't washed it yet. No, haven't washed it yet. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, because the top that goes with it, when I washed that, the stitches looked, you know, they kind of, I don't know, relaxed, you could say, so that the garment looked more even. Because when you knit something, this is so big. When you knit something, you can see maybe where you've put it down for a while, or if there is, you know, something, you know, maybe the yarns, a lot of yarns kind of open up when they are washed for the first time. It's funny because when I do this, my watch, it's a Garmin watch, it registers this activity as me walking, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I'm not walking, I'm sitting quite a lot down doing this, and yeah. A couple of years ago, my youngest daughter really enjoyed unraveling things. She's kind of gotten over that, so now I need to do it myself. yeah, I hope that I'm going to knit the new skirt. I'm going to repurpose this yarn for on a size 5.5 needle. This is a size 6, I think. Yeah, I just want it just a bit tighter, so that, because this is, this is really beautiful and everything, and as you could see when I twirled, it kind of like did the twirling thing. So it's not because there is anything wrong with the skirt, except it just doesn't really suit me. I just think it doesn't, it's just, no. I think it's because maybe it's not really my style either. But when I knitted this 4 years ago, I think. Yeah, something like that. And I wore it to a knitting event here in Denmark. Is there a split here? And had a lot of fun with that. But the reason I actually test knitted this for a Norwegian knitwear designer called Strikke Elisa. So and I think this was one of the first times that I did like a test knit. Yeah, I don't do a lot of test knits because I'm not that big of a fan of doing knitting within a time frame. I'm actually a bit puzzled because I actually thought this would. Oh, when I was test knitting this skirt, you need to hit gauge. So, and I thought that I would hit gauge with one thread of, this is Drops Nord. I think it's a German. I think it's a German yarn brand. Well, Drops. It's very common here in Denmark. It's a price-friendly yarn, you could say. Then I held it together with, I have no idea what the other strand of yarn is. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. I'm maybe something alpaca, because Drops Nord is a alpaca sock yarn, which is also why I want to repurpose this for another skirt, because I'm not sure that it's correct, but I've been thinking about that when you have like knitted garments, there are like stress points where you use the garment. Like here under the sleeves, that's a stress point because you do like this a lot, and that stresses the fabric. It's the same with your jeans or trousers. When your thighs do like this, you you stress the fabric, and I don't know exactly why, but I got the idea in my head that when you have a skirt, then sitting down and getting up from chairs would be stressing the yarn, which makes no sense at all. But I got the idea, which is stupid. And for some reason I really can't get it out of my head again. So that's why I had this idea that I wanted to do a skirt, kind of like when I do the two pieces. I have a top and a bottom part that is perfect for each other, because they're made of the same material and they are, you know, thought to be worn together. And then I got the thought that I wanted to do like a skirt that was more, you know, easier to mix with other things, like, and that's when I you know, did what a lot of knitters do, I think. I went online and started searching for yarn. I talked to a colleague about colors. You know, if you would buy a skirt and you needed it to, you know, be compatible with a big part of your wardrobe, which color would you do? And then of course her, you know, gunshot reaction was black. Of course. And every knitter know that knitting in black is kind of horrible, because it's so, you need really great lighting to be able to see the stitches, and if you drop a stitch, then you know, it's just a bit trickier than knitting in a color. So I told her, okay, what if it wasn't supposed to be black? What color would you knit a garment in then? And then she was like, I don't know, dark gray. Okay, dark gray, real. And then I told her that I had been, you know, looking at brown, different shades of brown, and I'd been looking at the dark blue, which is a color that's sneaking up on me, I can feel. So this is, you know, this is so used to be my go-to color. This is a neutral in my world, you know. I would be able to use this with a lot of the things that I have in my wardrobe that are a couple of years old. I really have a lot of green in my wardrobe. I have a lot of different colors, because then I get like a, you know, a silly idea that I want to do like a t-shirt in yellow. And then I get a idea, or I see a yarn that I think is gorgeous or something, and then I buy it, and yeah. So, but I think this is going to be really nice. And the thing is, for me, a knitted skirt, the way I do a knitted skirt, the way that I make, like, you know, German short rows on the back. I do the way I do the waistline, the length that I do, the overall shape. Where I just lost. I just got confused myself. I don't know what I was supposed to be saying. Well, it's going to take me a while to unravel it, but definitely not as long as it took me to knit it. Oh my god. It's huge. It's really, like, big, this thing. And I can't remember how many balls of yarn I used for it, but it's also really, really heavy, actually. And I don't know if I'm going to repurpose the elastic band that it has here in the waist. The elastic band. Yeah. As far as I remember, you cast it on and did the cover for the waist, and then you doubled the amount of stitches, which means that I have like almost like holes in this. because it's so heavy. A lot of the others, the original pattern or the original model was the designer's, it was a skirt for her wedding day, so she did it in like 2 or 3 strands of silk mohair. It's kind of like, you know, fluffy and light and, you know, really, really beautiful. So yeah, and I totally fell in love with the, you know, her, you know, version of that skirt. And then, you know, I did what any stupid person would do. A lot of the other testers also did it in like a silk mohair and got a really pretty result, you know, with this airy, fluffy, light thing. And mine is just, you know, ridiculously heavy. I have no idea how many skeins of yarn is in this thing. And in theory, you could, I can see that maybe it's just a knitted Instagram thing, but I can see that see-through skirts and kind of like things are popping up in my Instagram feed. Maybe I'm just lucky. I don't think see-through is for me. No, don't think so. But yeah, maybe it is. Oh, I forgot to tell you. There are 3 strands of yarn in this. So the sock yarn drops north. The other one, I think it's a alpaca 400 from Yardegarn. Something is leading me in that direction. And then I bought a cone of silk, pure silk from Garnudsalg, and it said in the text when I bought it, and even though it's a really long time since I bought it, I still have a lot of it left. But I remember reading, you know, kind of the description of the yarn, which said perfect for weaving. Okay. And the funny thing is, I think I thought that the yarn, the silk yarn that I was buying was like thicker than it turned out to be. It's a thread, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, no, thread, I would call. So I've held together a sock yarn, which is a sock yarn, standard sock yarn, 1 lace and 1 thread. Yeah, which makes this a pretty color, I actually think so. The funny thing is that the sock yarn is kind of like a coal gray, and the alpaca lace is kind of like a warm army gray. And when I bought the silk thread, I remember it they called the color turtle, and I remember it was called turtle because my second daughter just, you know, loves turtles. Loves turtles. So we have a thing with turtles in this house. So when I held the 3 balls of yarn, the cone and the 2 balls of yarn, up against each other, I was like, is this going to be good? I actually think that the color turned out pretty, but maybe not what I was hoping for. Right now I think I'm going to save the waistband and maybe yeah, repurpose that. That could be funny, couldn't it? Yeah, I think I might do that. Well, I hope that you've had something nice to drink, or maybe had a dull task done while I was doing this. A lot of the time where I am watching knitting podcasts, I'm not knitting. I'm doing like laundry and maybe cleaning or cooking or something like that. Sometimes I knit, but a lot of the time I do something else. It's kind of like, in Danish we call it dry knitting, tørstrik, which is when you are doing something knitting related but not knitting. So kind of like, planning a knitting project, or looking in a knitting book, or doing something like that. Dry knitting. I don't know what it's called in English, but that's what we call it in Danish. Well, I think that was all I wanted to say about this skirt and my unraveling business. And I hope that you had fun, and that you will take care of yourself until the next time where I upload an episode. And until then, happy knitting.